Hey, this is Mr. Young. This is going to be just a practice question video on adding and subtracting integers. So if you have watched the first video, this is just to give you some practice questions to do, and I'll go over them in this video. So let's try the first practice question with, say, -12 and plus 4. That's the first one. And number 2, we'll step it up a little bit with bigger numbers, -50, and we'll have a -20. The third question, if I can just move down a little bit here, let's try +1, +6, -10 plus 2. So that's 3 questions. And the last one, let's try -24, a lot bigger number, -20, and plus 10. So you want to pause the video right now and go over these 4 questions. So the answer here to do number 1, anytime you see a sign or a question here, you want to look at the sign. So you see a negative sign right now, and there's a number right after it. And there's a sign here and a number. You don't see any brackets, so that means because there are no brackets, you're not going to multiply or divide. You're just basically either add or subtract. So in this case, you have a -12 is going to be added to a +4. So if you think about -12 is very on the left side of a number line. So if you look at a number line right here, -12, if you just sort of imagine this, is about around here on the left side. Oh, that didn't work. Let me undo that. So there's -12 here. If you think about 0 is right here. So this is where you're starting, -12. And you're going to add 4. Since this is going to be a positive, we're going to move to the right side 4 times. So I'm not going to put in the numbers, but if you move from -12 in the positive direction, you should get -8. So the first answer is -8. Okay? If you want to use another strategy, you can also do the kind of the chips. So it's either you do the little dark circles represent -1. So if we draw negative ones 12 times, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then we can do clear circles for positive ones. So each of these ones are -1, -1, or -1, sorry, -1, -1. These ones are all positive ones. How you can do this is that right now you have -12, so you have 12 negative ones, and you have 4 positive ones. Since negative ones and positive ones cancel, we can just cancel this, and cancel this, and cancel this. How many of these circles do you have left? Well, you have -8. So there's a couple strategies. You can use a number line, you can do these chips. You can also use the pattern which we talked about in the first video, where since these two signs are opposite, you're going to take the bigger number, subtracting the smaller one, which is 12 minus 4 is 8. Since the bigger number has the negative sign, we're going to use the negative sign in my answer. Okay, because that's really useful for bigger numbers like this one. So for number 2, -50 plus 20. Ooh, I kind of went over the 0. But since these ones are such big numbers, I'm not going to draw 50 little dots and 20 little dots. You can still do a number line, but then that means you have to move 20 times. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to look at the trick here. This one has a negative sign right here, and this one has a positive sign. I know they're opposite signs, so that means I'm going to take 50, subtract it into 20. So 50 subtract 20 is 30. Now, what sign am I going to use? Since the negative sign is with a bigger number, 50 is bigger than 20, I'm going to use the negative sign. That's my answer. For number 3, 3 numbers still the same thing, but you just might have to break it into steps. So I see a number here and a number there. I'm not even going to worry about the +2 because I'm just going to worry about +6 and -10. Through whichever strategy you want to use, the answer from +6 and -10 is -4. So I always write it into a step. So the next step here, like this is my step 1, and I can do a step 2 after. So the answer from +6 and -10 is -4. Since I didn't do anything to the +2, I'm just going to bring this down, plus 2, and that's my next step. Negative 4 plus 2 gives me negative 2 as my answer. So that's number 3, with 3 numbers. Number 4, 3 numbers with bigger numbers. You notice this is my first number, this is my second number. Both of these signs are exactly identical. Because they're identical, I'm going to add these 2 numbers together. So 24 and 20 will give me 44. And since the signs are not different, I'm going to keep the signs. Basically, what this question is saying, you have a negative 24. So if we have a number line like this, negative 24, say it's around here, and 0 is about here. You're starting at here, and then you're going to move to the left even more. You're going to get even smaller 20 times. So that means that you get a negative 40. We're not done yet because we still have this plus 10, so I'm going to add this plus 10 after it. So since it's a plus 10, I'm going to go back to the right side 10 times, which gives me an answer of negative 34. So you can do different strategies. This one you can do since these 2 signs are opposite, I'm just going to take the bigger number, subtract the smaller one, which is 44, subtract 10, 34. And since the negative sign is with the bigger number, I'm going to use that sign. So these are just 4 practice questions. Practice makes perfect. So keep in mind about the signs because those are really important. So this is the end of the second video.